Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Laxmi, ma'am.
Good evening, Chitralekha.
Today starts, sir.
Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. So, today we have an interview of a recommended candidate. So, first, I'll walk you through the agenda of today. We will have a conversation about her background and the journey and the experiences in her preparation days. And also, we will have a brief about the attempt in which she got recommended. And at the last, we will have questions from the participants. So, let's start. So first, I am pleased to introduce Ms. Laxmi Devi, a recommended candidate from NSB Visakhapatnam. I am also happy to inform you that she also got her final selection and will be joining the Indian Naval Academy soon. So she got recommended in her eighth attempt. So good evening, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. You don't have to
Uh,
speak, ma'am. It's fine.
okay, how are you?
I'm good.
So if you are comfortable, can we start?
Yeah, sure.
So, ma'am, please tell us about your background, like your family, your education, the place where you live in.
Okay. Speaking about my background, my family, I belong from Rajasthan, Suratpura village, and since my father was in the army and he recently got retired, he was in the army medical corps. So because of him, I have been, switching places to places, and my school has been from different places, mostly from army public schools, as far as I remember. And also, I have done BTech in biotechnology from MIT University, Rajasthan. And later, I also did 2 years in job as a technical support executive. And then, do I also tell you about my journey, like the CDS and everything?
Ma'am, we will have it in the ahead questions.
Okay.
Were you a part of NCC?
No, no, I have not been part of NCC.
So, can you please tell us about like what was the main motivation behind joining the armed forces, or was it itself the family background?
Yeah, it was the family background. My grandfather was also in the armed forces. Then my father joined, and then I decided that I should also go in the same, direction and continue the legacy of my family.
Okay, sure, ma'am. So the next question is like, please tell us about the brief of the attempt in which you got recommended. So please walk us through about the screening process, the psychology tests, the GTO, and the conference and the lecture too.
Okay. So this was my eighth attempt at NSB Vishakhapatnam. Before that, I went twice to the same board, but I got screened out. And this time also I was expecting same only. So I went with a very free mind and a lot of confidence that okay, we'll see whatever the result is. There was no pressure at all. So in the screening, they showed the picture, and the picture was that there's a woman who's standing in front of a door and she is wearing some kind of bangles, but many people perceive it as a man also. So I just wrote a story regarding that. This is an old lady in her 60s and how she is trying to revive the art of bangle making and how she generated job in her village. And that's all how it went. I gave a good narration and the OIR was good. And in the GD also I performed well. I didn't dominate, so that was how I got screened in. And later, talking about the psychology part, the pictures, the tat, and everything went well. I attempted everything. And in the SRTs, I actually did around 56 or something. So it was close by to 60. And in the VAT, I attempted all the VATs and SDT. It is like I wrote whatever came to my mind and it is self prepared, obviously. So then that was how it went. And for the GTO, this time the GTO was exceptional because all the tasks were done in the rain and it was a heavy rain. And we thought we won't be having our tasks, but we still had them. So it was quite enjoyable. And the only difference this time was that in PGT, NGT, or the command task, I was getting ideas readily. Maybe because I had seen a lot of YouTube videos and everything solve, seeing people solve how you can solve the obstacles. And in the GP, because I did a lot of practice in the sessions of NFA, so this time I also got the opportunity to narrate the common plan which was there in the GD. Again, I participated well, so overall the GTO was fine. Talking about the interview, this time the interview was taken by the president of the board and it went well. He just asked me normal, no grilling at all. He just asked me about my, technical questions related to my field, and also few questions about previous attempts, the improvements and everything. So it went well. And in the conference also, it was good. This time, they didn't just ask me like, how was your stay and everything. They asked me like, whom would you want to recommend? What are your two takeaways from? So this time I felt, okay, I'll get in. So that's how it all went.
Okay, okay, ma'am. As you mentioned that it was your eighth attempt, so I would like to ask you to talk about were you giving the competitive exams after 12th, and how did you attempt and how did you prepare for CDS and other competitive exams too?
Okay. See, after 12th, I didn't appear at all for any competitive exam. And that time, the goal was clear that I will do something in biotech, because in 12th itself, I had a biotechnology as my optional subject. So from there, it was clear that I'll do something with that. And then later stages, we had this military training camp in the college, in which I realized that I really have inclination towards the armed forces. So that's how I started preparing, though I was not a very bright student, I would say, in the general knowledge in geography, polity, etc., which is required in the CDS. So somehow took a leap of faith and just went with it, started preparing from the academy. And so that's how I cleared the written, and then I went for the SSB. But like the first attempt, I got screened out. Then in the second attempt, I got conferenced out. So from there, I realized I need to do something more. So I took NFA in 2022. So I have been, contact with NFA since 2 years, and then I started attending the sessions and started improving my GK and everything. And Nehru sir was the one who told me to get a job. You don't sit at home and prepare; it will give you confidence. So that's how I started even doing job in Delhi and handling everything and managing, and that's how it went.
Actually, talking about the job, I would also like to ask you that there are many perceptions that while doing the job, you cannot manage to study and to prepare for various competitive exams. So please do share that how you manage the time, like also focus on your physical fitness, also focus on the studies and the job also. So please highlight on that.
Okay. Before doing job, I also had the same perception that you cannot clear the written with the job. But that perception was something Colonel Nehru sir himself removed, and he was like, "You go for a job." That's all. The thing he asked me, you get a job after the first interview, which Nehru sir takes after you join the NFA. So he also had a talk with my father, so he allowed me to look for a job and start doing a job. So the timings for my job was from 10 to 6:30 p.m. And in that, I had to manage everything. So in the morning, I tried that I start studying and all, but it didn't went well, because in the job, then I had to, pay a lot of focus and all, but it was exhausting. So I decided that I would be studying in the night. So, like waking up at 8 and having breakfast, normal everything, getting ready, and then going to the job at 6:30, coming back, and then having a workout, little bit of half an hour workout, and then cooking dinner and all, and then attending the sessions, 9:30 sessions conducted by Anjum sir and Kaiser, and later it went around 11 or sometimes 11:30, and then studying till 2, and then again sleeping, and again repeating the same cycle. So it went. Yes, there have been days you are very exhausted and you are still crying and you are still studying. That
Right, right.
there were days like that also. But then you have to remember that you are right now studying for something better. You might see your friends partying around, playing songs and everything, but that time you have to have a strong willpower that no, you have decided a goal and you want to crack it. That's how it went.
Okay, right, ma'am. Thank you. Also, like we mentioned before, that this was your eighth attempt. So, in the previous seventh attempt, so what were your learnings from those attempts, and what different did you do in this attempt so that you got recommended in this?
Okay. I had actually four screen out and four conferences. In the fourth conference, I got recommended. So the first screen out taught me that I don't have to be impulsive. I have to give a neutral performance in all three, which is your PPDT, OIR, and the group discussion, and that's how I did. Then in the first conference itself, I realized I was very poor at the all the GTO task, and in the interview, I was being very verbose. rather than being, speaking little and concise things, but I was not doing that. So from the next attempt, I started, focusing on my things, how to improve my GTO and everything. In second conference, I realized I couldn't do that command task. I actually was shaking and was unable to clear it. And that I discussed with Nehru sir also. He told me that you can, utilize the materials nearby you, going to the park or something, climbing the walls and all. So I started doing that also. From there, I got a, little bit boost. But then there was something more. I realized that what I was lacking was general knowledge. If you are confident with GK, you can perform well in the GDs, lecturate, and everything. But if you're not, you will always be underconfident. So I started improving that also through watching YouTube channels, reading newspapers at times. And for the interview, I introspected. Like, if an interviewer asks you something, how you can actually be less verbose and be precise and explain and put forward your point. That's how it went.
Okay, ma'am. So, like, after listening to you, it must have been a roller coaster ride for you. Like, there must be many ups and downs and managing everything. How you dealt with the failures, how you dealt when you got screened out, confidence out, and how you built yourself again. Please elaborate on that.
Uh, there was a time when I was getting screened out thrice. Like in a line, I got screened out, and this year itself, I got three screen outs and then a conference. So yes, there have been a lot of failures, and of course, after every screen out and conference out, you definitely cry that you came so after coming so far, still you are not able to make it. So that time I used to talk to my friends, even Colonel Nehru. So he always told me, beta, stay calm, focus again, and then again, go ahead. So, and there was this quote that you are a failure if you don't get up. And if you get up after each failure, like if there are three failures and you are getting up four times, then you are a successful person. So that's how it went. I just started, having gaining confidence in myself, and then I kept
Okay,
going.
ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, ma'am. Thank you. So, coming on to the role of the NFA, which played part in your selection and which prepared for your journey, please highlight when you joined the NFA and what impact did the group activities and the sessions with Nehru sir have on
Okay. In college, I was not very much towards the debate competitions or any kind of anchoring. I was in dramatics club. So I knew that I want a platform where I can have GDs, I can discuss with the people and actually introspect and gain little confidence. So in NFA, you have lecturate, PPT and everything. And you have a whole lot of bunch who are very hardworking and, working for the same goal. So from there, I started attending the session, started being more consistent with them. And then I improved my GK. And from there only, like people tell you many facts which you don't even read. And then for the PPTD also, you get to know a lot of stories and ideas from the people that, oh, I can make this story also on it. So that's how NFA played a huge role. And I have been telling people that you need such kind of groups. And I'm very
it.
happy that I joined the NFA.
Right, yes, ma'am. I also agree that we are all fortunate here to join NFA because it always helps in our growth. At last, I would like to ask you that what is that one message that you would like to give aspiring candidates like me and all other present here?
Um, See, we watch a lot of interviews, we watch a lot of reels, we talk to many people who are actually appearing for the SSBs. From their experience itself, we start, analyzing ourselves. Oh, मुझे तो ये भी नहीं आता, मुझे तो ये भी नहीं आता. And we start
Right.
underestimating our own self. We start feeling that I can't do it. Okay, so that's where we go wrong. I think we should be confident in ourselves. We should, if you know your weakness, start working on it rather than saying you can't do it. So that's the main thing I would say. And start listening to the people who have already cracked and made it to the academies, rather than listening to the people who are still, appearing. I won't say that they are failures or something. They too have some
Right.
life lessons, but sometimes from their questions which they themselves are not clear about the answers, we start feeling that we are lacking. So that's the main point where we should actually, okay, you listen to them, but make sure that you analyze and have a point of your own rather than their points. So that's
Okay.
the only improvement you need.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights. At last, I would like to request all of the participants to ask questions if they have any. So I hand over to.
तो लक्ष्मी congratulations, काफी टाइम लग गया.
Thank you, sir.
Lakshmi is like a daughter to me, and always the most pleasant person. We have met also.
Yes, sir.
So अभी तो बढ़िया है, अभी भी आती रहेगी घर में. So Lakshmi was stationed in Meerut only initially. Then I pushed her out to Delhi for work. तो लक्ष्मी थोड़ा ये बताओ, ये 2 साल में major improvements that you made in yourself. क्या क्या हुआ?
So, in 2 years since, because of the job mostly, बहुत सारा कॉन्फिडेंस आया खुद के अंदर. एक वो सेल्फ डाउट था कि मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकती लाइफ में, वो हट गया. एंड इन जॉब यू हैव टू हैंडल वैरायटी ऑफ पीपल. तो वहां से एक वो भी स्किल आ गई कि कैसे कहाँ पे क्या आंसर करना है, कैसे करना है. एंड प्रेशर भी बहुत था, तो उसको हैंडल कैसे करना है. एंड एक सेल्फ इंडिपेंडेंस आ जाती है जब आपके पास खुद की सैलरी आती है. तो यू गेन मोर कॉन्फिडेंस कि हाँ मैं हैंडल कर सकती हूँ. सो आई थिंक द जॉब एक्चुअली प्लेड अ मेजर मेजर रोल कि टू बिल्ड माई कॉन्फिडेंस.
So what is your advice to people who are sitting at home and doing सरकारी इम्तिहान की तैयारी and SSB preparation? lot of people doing that. हमारी बेल्ट वाले तो यही कर रहे हैं.
जी सर. यही
Meerut, Haryana, Rajasthan, and particularly girls. Girls in our land in Western UP, Haryana, Rajasthan, डिस्करेज ना. सरकारी नौकरी तो ठीक है, एज सच काम के लिए फैमिलीज भी सपोर्ट खास करती नहीं है. तो व्हाट आर व्यूज ऑन दैट?
So initially, my father was also not supporting me, and only after a meeting with you, he said, "Okay, you go for a job." He was like, "You get a government job directly. Why you want to go to the private sector?" But it is very important that to have a salary of your own to start earning, because from there you would be learning major things, experiences which you have never felt at home. You would be handling those, you would be managing your family issues also, you would be managing your professional life, plus how you are preparing for the exams and everything. And it's not tough to prepare for the CDS and SSB if you regularly attend the sessions itself of 1 hour. I think that's more than enough to prepare for the SSB.
अब आप ये देखिए, चांस की बात है कि आपके फादर भी फौजी थे, मेरे से थोड़े एज में भी यंगर थे, तो कनेक्ट कर पाए. मेरी बात का इम्पैक्ट भी उन पे था. Probably had he been from a civilian background, maybe he may not have, accepted my advice, which is the same to everybody, genuine advice I give. तो ये हुआ, अच्छी बात है. तो what is your advice, if you would like to put it on record, कि पेरेंट्स को आप क्या सलाह देना चाहती हैं? वेस्टर्न यूपी, हरियाणा, राजस्थान के जो पेरेंट्स हैं, जो अपनी बच्चियों को कहते हैं ठीक है सरकारी टीचर का जॉब हो जाए तो ठीक है, नहीं तो सरकारी जॉब होना चाहिए, ये कॉर्पोरेट शॉर्टकट का भरोसा नहीं करते हैं. दे डोंट अलाउ द गर्ल्स टू टेक अप सच जॉब्स. So kindly say a few words to these parents.
सर यही बोलूंगी पेरेंट्स को कि दे शुड अलाउ देयर किड्स टू गो आउट. बल्कि प्राइवेट जॉब तो तुम्हारी एक टाइम फिक्स पे होती है, उससे ज्यादा वो तुम्हें बोलते भी नहीं है कुछ काम करने के लिए. एंड मोर फैसिलिटीज आर देयर एक्चुअली. एसी इज अवेलेबल, एवरी ईटरी आइटम्स इज अवेलेबल, रेस्टिंग आवर्स आर अवेलेबल. तो करना चाहिए. ये मत देखो कि सैलरी कम है या फिर तुम्हारा पैकेज ज्यादा नहीं लग रहा है एकदम से, तो स्टार्टिंग में नहीं लगता है वो सबका. किसी किसी का लग भी जाता है, बट विद दैट दे ऑल्सो हैव ह्यूज प्रेशर, एंड बच्चे छोड़ देते हैं उस जॉब को भी क्योंकि वो प्रेशर मैनेज नहीं कर पाते हैं। तो बच्चों को देना चाहिए एक मौका, उन्हें जाने देना चाहिए बाहर, एंड डेफिनेटली थोड़ा वो कमाएंगे, थोड़ा सीखेंगे, थोड़ा अगर कुछ मेजर एक्सपीरियंस भी उनके साथ हुआ तो वो सीखेंगे उसको हैंडल कैसे करना है। तो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि बच्चा बाहर जाए खुद से।
Fine, I will endorse some of my views to this. I also request all parents that please allow your children to grow. By sitting at home, they are not growing. Working in the field is a very vital aspect of personality development. पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट घर बैठे नहीं होता है। ये पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट की जो क्लासेस वगैरह जो करते हैं वो दे नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग जेन्युइन पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट। ये पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट रियल फील्ड में होता है। तो प्लीज अपने बच्चों को काम करने दीजिए, उनको उससे बहुत तरक्की मिलेगी। आप जो सोचते हैं कि आप उन्हें प्रोटेक्ट करके उन्हें स्ट्रांग बनाएंगे, आप उन्हें स्ट्रॉन्गर नहीं बना रहे, आप उन्हें कमजोर बना रहे हैं अपने बच्चों को। जब वो काम करते हैं, अपने पैरों पे खड़े होते हैं, तब उनमें मजबूती आती है। तो प्लीज मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है पेरेंट्स से कि आप जो हैं, हमारा वीडियो में मैं बोलूंगा कि शेयर करिए बच्चों आप लोगों से, पेरेंट्स के साथ उनको दिखाइए। क्योंकि शायद अगर ये नहीं हुआ होता तो मे बी आज लक्ष्मी हमसे सिलेक्शन के बाद बात नहीं कर रही होती। मे बी, आई मीन हो जाता तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, बट इट हैज प्लेड सच एन इम्पोर्टेंट रोल that she took up work and her parents supported her, and I'm sure now they would be realizing कि ये अच्छा था। फादर हैं आसपास क्या?
नहीं सर, ही वेंट आउट।
अच्छा जगह गए हुए बाहर, ठीक है। तो Lakshmi, really don't have much to ask. We know each other so well, and I'm so happy कि मेरी बेटी जो है वो हो गई है recommend।
थैंक यू सर।
टाइम लगा, ठीक, but with our mutual, energy and faith in each other, things have worked out. So kindly go ahead, ask your questions to Lakshmi.